Mosaic essentially is a portable, adaptable, modular system of what we ended up calling prisms. It's a singular unit that's self-contained. The prisms can attach to each other to create larger spaces, and the interiors are fairly interesting because they're designed around more of a guideline for people to follow, so that manufacturers and people in the industry can design their own interiors and sell them on what we like to call the Mosaic website or the Mosaic marketplace. So within that Mosaic concept came this idea of sustainability and how we create kind of an infrastructure for these to run, and that's Jerod actually took a hold of that.
Yeah, I think one of the innovative parts of Mosaic is there's been numerous scenarios of these pop-up modular systems, but Mosaic really takes that to the next level with really having the infrastructure and the engineering as a self-contained unit that comes with all of this, and it's self-sustainable. It can really survive on its own.
What's really great about Mosaic is it can go anywhere, anytime, for any need, and pretty much for anyone. So it's really flexible. It works for whether it's a disaster relief situation and you need so many number of these pods for housing or medical, and all the interiors come in and they're very convertible so that it can fold, pack away, ship easily, and then unpack really quickly to create an instant luxury hotel or instant disaster relief situation.
One of the premises, when we started the competition, we started with brainstorming within the office, and we came up with 3 individual concepts, and from there we were going to try and narrow it down to one of them to actually run with and create 3 concepts. One of them was disaster relief. One of them was more of a cultural-based hotel, so you go in and you experience the culture and you kind of leave a hotel behind for them to absorb and use in their community. And the other one was more of an open source system where you're creating the model for the hotel and other people are implementing it. So when we started to really look at all of these themes, we saw these intertwining kind of themes that just laid over the top, and we said, well, why can't we just create something that meets all of these needs and all of these desires? And so that's when we started to develop Prism and how it attaches to each other.
Yeah, the unit and how it can move.
Yeah, we did a lot of brainstorming about some of the trends of tourism, and one of the themes that developed was volunteerism, ecotourism, and sort of adventure tourism of seeing cultures and new places, and that's sort of where the resort to housing concept grew out of. And it's just Mosaic seemed to answer all of these applications.
I mean, it was mainly for, we thought of areas where housing is a need and maybe the infrastructure isn't as developed as other places. And usually in those areas, there's also something that could be done with volunteering as well as understanding and learning about the culture. So we saw this kind of volunteerism where these pods would be transported to that area, and since each unit is kind of self-contained, it has a structure, like a mechanical system in it that connects to the infrastructure hub, which we could, I guess, discuss a little bit more about. It kind of created an infrastructure for the new city. It would fit into the fabric of that community and really provide infrastructure that is much needed.
We saw there was an opportunity where you could combine a couple of different funding potentials where you have global housing sources for funding. You combine that with somebody who wants to take a destination vacation to a unique area of the world. You combine that together and you get a model where somebody could pay for a house for somebody and take a vacation there and still make it affordable for the vacation person.
Because we held so many brainstorming sessions, it would have been one thing if the 3 of us were just designing the 3 of us, but because we always went back to kind of the people who helped us conceive this whole idea in the beginning, we ran into these situations where they would ask questions that maybe we didn't think of in the beginning, and so it was kind of, well, how does this thing pack? How does it actually fold up and pack? And how do the interiors plug in? And how self-containing is it really? And so we would have to sit back and go, okay, we actually do need to answer these questions and figure this out. It really pushed us to develop the concept and make it into something that's not just radical, not just innovative, but implementable. Oh, I think there's an infinite amount of possibilities.
Yeah.
I mean, Jerod talked in the presentation about this whole expanding and contracting and seasonal use. So there's always these times, especially with the economic downturn, where hotels aren't seeing a large occupancy rate. So how great would it be if in one area they have low occupancy, but in another area they're always booked, they need more rooms. Move those rooms to that area and attach them there. Or, with the resort to housing, you're, creating an opportunity for this new type of tourism. Voluntourism is growing every day. People want to take their kids somewhere where they can learn something about another culture and make a difference and leave something behind.